Today's subject is the difference between a man and a gentleman. And without me getting complex in that and nitpicking, the simplest thing I can sit there and say the difference between a man and a gentleman is a man doesn't have what you truly desire, ladies, women, females. A man doesn't possess that part of what you truly desire. You ask yourself at the end of the day, what do you truly desire? To be treated tough or gentle? You had a long day at work, you stressed, and you coming home to see your other half. How do you want them to treat you? Tough or gentle? Be honest with yourself. And it's just not on a physical level. It's on a mental, emotional level. Ask yourself, how do you want to be treated? Tough or gentle? Mentally, emotionally, and physically. A man can't do the gentle part, mental and emotional. He's not a man gentle. Only a gentleman can do that. He possesses both parts. He possesses the gentleness and the man. Once he earned the lady in you, you have to be willing to let go of the man in you. That's why man and woman are always at odds. She has too much man in her. There's nothing wrong with that. God gave you that because you have yet to find one that can possess that, own that, or deliver on that. And when you do, true strength is being able to let go of your strength and be comfortable in it. Man's going to have to go through the same damn thing. I will never stand in front of my God as a man. I will never stand in front of my Lord as a man. He's my savior and protector. A man is a symbol of strength. A woman is a symbol of strength. God gave enough man in you that you should never ask, want, or need. It's disrespectful to ask for something you already have. And the day that you let a man think you need him, majority will tell you he'll treat you like crap. So you should never even say the word man because you have man in you. At the end of the day, go home and denounce the man in your man that's in that house with you. Because a man and woman don't come in the house. Only a lady and a gentleman. Call him your G. Like I said, the difference between a man and a gentleman is what a man can't do. He doesn't possess the gentleness to be that gentle creature at the end of the day. He doesn't trust you enough to believe in the man that you have, that he can possess it and own it and be your gentleman. That's what you're at odds. Don't fault yourself, but understand yourself. If not, it's insanity. You keep doing the same things over and over and not understanding why. You're looking for a creature that can handle the man in you the way your man need to be handled. All women grow up playing with baby dolls and Barbie dolls to become a man's Barbie. Question is, how do you want your Barbie to be handled? Take Barbie and change it to love. How do you want to be loved? Find a man is not going to love you. He'll fuck you. A gentleman will love you. Love and gentle, they're one of the same words, aren't they? Man, tough, fuck, tough. Physical. You got to understand what you crave, what you truly desire, not what you want. I know you want a man, but what do you desire? A gentleman? Speak it. The difference between a man and a gentleman. What you truly desire, a man can't give you. And if you desire to be treated gentle, to be mentally and emotionally understood, a man is not going to do that part. The only time a man will become that is when he chooses, and it's a choice you have to make, to be a gentleman, to be the opposite of what a man is. What a man can't do, a gentleman does, without you even have to ask. Crave the gentleman. Crave it. Desire the gentleman. Leave the man alone. Stop asking God for something he already gave you. Believe in the man that you have within yourself. And a man don't want a woman. She got too much man in her. You want the part that doesn't have man in her. And that's the lady. That lady, that woman chose a man to let her man go, and her Fiji woo transcended into a lady. And the only thing she wants from a male when he chooses to be a gentleman is the gentleness in him. She wants a gentleman. She knows he got enough man in her to take care of both of them, to protect, to provide, and to parent the child that she's willing to have for him. She knows that. The 3 P's. That's what a gentleman does. That is the closest thing a man can get to an angel, is being a gentleman, a gentle angel. To serve a lady goddess. You cannot be a woman goddess, and you cannot be a man angel. You cannot take a man and a woman to heaven. That's strength. We have no need to be strong. Once you become a lady, and I become a gentleman, the next stage after that is an angel for a gentleman and a goddess for a lady goddess. The highest thing on earth is a lady. In heaven, you're a goddess. The highest thing for a gentleman on earth is a gentleman. In heaven, I'm an angel. But you got to know your stages. Stop asking for a man. Stop looking for a woman. We at odds with one another. Let's understand what stage in life we are. Live that stage for what it needs to be. You're going to be many different women. I've been many different men. I know I just don't want to stay in my cocoon stage. I just don't want to be a man. All types of men, good men, bad men. God don't make nothing bad. There's no bad men. There's no bad women. We're just not right for one another. Understanding that. We learn from one another, and God learns from us through the trials and tribulations we go through. You know we go through them. But are we wise enough to choose what's better than a man? Are we wise enough to choose? We know that's a gentleman. Are you wise enough to let go of the man in you and become that lady? Practice on earth before you can have it. And guess what, gentlemen? Before we can bow down for God, we got to bow down something greater than ourselves. We have many goddesses walking around us. Every female on this earth is a goddess. I can't stand the man in them. They can't stand the man in them. They don't want to carry on that man. And they don't want the man in you. But we chase after a woman every Friday night. Okay, we're looking for a woman. Woman. Nobody wants a woman. Nobody wants a man. Okay? Understand what you want to speak. Speak it into existence. And the thing is, between a man and a gentleman, whatever a man has, a gentleman does too. Not only that, every man that man been, that gentleman is. See, most men are ignorant. They can't admit to the change in themselves. But a gentleman tells you, every woman that came in a man's life brought out a different type of man in him. No different than a woman. Every man that came in your life brought out a different type of woman. That is yours and yours alone. That's your research and your development. Understand that. Appreciate who you are, your trials and tribulations. What did you learn from that? And when you done that, Jesus and God learns from us. That is why when God comes to a woman's womb and create the fetus out of the seed of a man and the egg of a woman, he asks Jesus for his guidance, because God don't pay attention to what's going on earth. That is Jesus' domain. Everything inside heaven is what God pay attention to. Everything outside of heaven's gates is what Jesus does. He gave his life for us. Before we can go through heaven's gate, we got to get Jesus' permission. And not only that, when God comes, a woman has direct communication the day that she becomes pregnant. Because now God is inside her womb. She don't need to go through Jesus. She can talk directly to God through her thoughts. And when she takes the time to put that mental and emotional connection to her thoughts and tell God what she wants her child to have, it's not about pretty eyes and pretty this, pretty that, but the mental and emotion prepare that child for what's going on in today's society and what may be going on in the child's future. Prepare my child mentally, emotionally, and physically to withdraw what hell is, what earth is. And Jesus is going to do that. Jesus is going to tell God what everything that child needs. But it's up to that child to believe that he has everything installed in him. Jesus' command, God gives. God ain't gonna just give blindly. He asked his son, what do my child need to make it back to heaven's gate? Understand that. You just got to believe in yourself. Take the time and think about your thoughts. That's you having a conversation with Jesus and God. What comes of that conversation is called wisdom. And some of you may not even act upon it, but you have a knowledge base. Believe in it if you know where it came from. Jesus ain't going to steer you wrong. He wants you to make it back. He wants you to make it back. That's your big brother. He is the sun and the moon, day and night, keeping an eye on you. Know that. The wind, the rain, everything. That is big brother. But again, the difference between a man and a gentleman. A man don't talk, but a gentleman does. A woman talks because a man don't talk. A lady listens because a gentleman is speaking. She listens, she learns, and she loves. She loves what she listens to see what brings out in who she is within him. You don't want her to love you. You want her to love herself within you. And the only place you can come and get that is from you. And that's what a gentleman provides, is to teach a woman to be safe, to feel like that lady, to let go of that man in her, to trust him, to mentally, emotionally, not just on the physical level. But you can trust a gentleman on the mental and emotional level. He's going to understand and be attentive to you. That's what you look for. Not about if he thinks you're cute, your outfit's nice, his car is nice, he got a fly ride, he got a nice job, That's materialistically. A gentleman knows he already proposed to provide that. That is our responsibility. We have financial burden because a woman does labor. Not for a man. Trust me, never have a baby for a man. He will disappoint you. Don't believe me, ask around. Others will tell you. Don't have a baby for yourself. Your human being self will be happy to be what it is today. And tomorrow ask yourself, what did it do? Why? And even not to admit to that out loud, God knows your thoughts. That is our flaws. We are working strength on that. But you will have that baby for God. He will come into your womb. You don't even choose that moment. He chooses that moment for you to have that child. He chooses that moment. And that is a gift. That is the gift. It's not even the gift of the child. That's not the true gift. The gift is you're about to have a relationship with God for 9 months. He's going to be inside you for 9 months. Take the time and think about that. And if you're pregnant, concentrate on your mental and your emotional. That's what God knows of you. Your mental is your spirit. Your emotion is your soul. Your living soul is your emotions. Your living spirit is your energy reside in your mind. Keep your energy and your emotion clean. You keep your soul and your spirit clean. And yours is different. God only will speak to your spirit. And when God speaks to your spirit, it comes in the form of a thought. Only you and God. And Jesus knows your thoughts. I didn't hear him. It's not for me to hear. If he wanted to hear him, he would say it with a bullhorn. For everybody to hear him. I swear I heard right, even though you heard left. Believe in what you heard. That's what God wanted you to hear. That's what Jesus wanted you to hear. Jesus is giving you the map to get back to heaven's gate. You got to believe in what Jesus tells you. But again, sometimes, man, we don't like to look at maps. We know which way to go. A man's an immature creature. A gentleman knows. A gentleman takes the time. A lady listens and watches and knows how she needs to help that gentleman. And she suggests, without just being authoritative about it, but she is the maturest one, mentally and emotionally. Even over a gentleman. A gentleman is learning to become that. She's been that since she's been a female. The woman in her, the woo in her. That is the mental and emotion of a woman. The woo of a woman is the womb. The fee of a female is the fetus that comes from that womb. The man and the woman, God gave her enough man so she would not have to rely on man. I understand that. I feel the essence of that. And we know a woman don't have to rely on a man. It's really intimidating to a real man. A true woman that's very comfortable and confident as being a woman, that is that full strength, absolutely. But again, the difference between a man and a gentleman. A man does not possess the things that you desire as a lady. And that's the G, the ness, the gentleness, the mentalness, and emotionalness. Only a gentleman can give you that, not a man. A man is truly disconnected from that. He's a physical creature in every aspect. That's what he was made for. That's why God gave you, man, to be strong physically. Your mental emotional is not in your man, it's in your woo and your feet. You're a creature of two, a woman, a female. The only time a gentleman becomes that creature too is when he becomes a gentleman. A man is only one, he's physical. When he learned to master the mental and emotional, it's at the end of his stage, his butterfly stage, when he becomes a gentleman. What's greater than a man is a gentleman. What's greater than a woman is a lady. A woman is a perfect creature. She's the woo and the man. She's the fee and the male. But what's a flawless creature is when you let go of the man in you, the male in you, and that is a lady. A gentleman will always have flaws with him. A man, he has man in him. Anything that got man is like a pair of dirty shoes that should not go in the home of the Lord or the home of God. Which one's more comfortable, the house or the home? You may come to the house door, but you cannot come in the home with them dirty shoes. But understand, and take the time to listen. Just listen to what I'm saying to you. Whatever you sense from it, it's not me speaking to you. That's God speaking to you. That's Jesus speaking to you. If it makes sense. That's just without a doubt. Okay, and I don't know what makes sense to you. I don't know what you hear. It's not for me to know what you hear mentally, emotionally. And the physical, when you really hear it strongly, mentally, emotionally, you'll sense it. You'll feel it physically through you. It'll make you feel some type of way. Understand what an empath is. I love speaking to it. As I said, my book is called A Spoken Thought. When you learn how to speak your thoughts, I don't speak to your physical form. I speak to your emotions and your energy. And if I know your emotions is your soul, and if I know your energy is your spirit, and I learn how to speak to your soul and your spirit, you cannot not hear me. The only question is, do you believe what you hear? Do you believe what you hear on a spirit and a soul level? Because that's not me telling you what's right or wrong. That's not me for whatever you may feel. Think about it. Have a conversation with Jesus. He'll tell you what you need to know. Believe in that. Understand the spoken thought. Speak your thoughts, you speak the word of Jesus. Find the best vocabulary in the world to use. Don't use any type of words. Words are the biggest slavery in society. They control you mentally, emotionally, and physically. Find the words that best suits your thoughts, that will empower your thoughts. Most people don't take the time to speak their thoughts. They're afraid to speak their thoughts, what they truly think. You can say anything to anybody. Find the exact words to say it. To fit the criteria of who that person is on an individual level. And learn how to speak to their emotions, their energy. Not on the negative level. Anybody can do it on the negative level. Flip it. Do it on the positive level. And when you learn how to speak to people and they can hear you, sense you. That's the one. Sense you. That's empowering. That is empowering. But again, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it makes sense to you. Please, any questions, do not hesitate to ask. There are more videos to come. You have a blessed evening.